Hello dear students. So today we are going to talk about question number 3 from paper 2019 October-November 42. The question says that figure 3.1 shows a gas contained in a cylinder enclosed by a piston. Describe in terms of momentum of the molecules how a pressure is exerted on the walls of the cylinder. Now you should say that this is a 3-mark question, so we have to add 3 points in the answer. They are saying describe in terms of momentum. Okay, I hope you know that momentum is mass into velocity. So we have to relate this answer to the momentum and indirectly to the velocity so that we will be getting the full marks over here. The first point, you can say that the gas molecules are always in random and rapid motion. Being in random and rapid motion, they keep on colliding with each other. So the second point we will write is they collide with each other and with the walls of container. These collisions change their velocity. So we know that whenever two particles will collide on each other, their velocity is going to change, and change in velocity will change the momentum because momentum depends on velocity. So the next point will be change in velocity changes momentum, which applies force, because we know the formula that F is equal to change in momentum, that's delta P, upon time. Continuing to the answer, we will say that this force applies pressure. So you can see that we have added enough information in the answer so that we will get full marks over here. The first mark will be for the motion of the gases, that is random and rapid. The second mark is to mention that the collisions between the gas particles changes their velocity. Change in velocity changes the momentum, and change in momentum applies force, which causes pressure. Now the next question that we have is about second B part. The piston is pushed into the cylinder. The volume decreases from 820 centimeter cube to 330 centimeter cube. So this is going to be our V1 and this will be V2, initial volume and final volume. The pressure gauge measures the pressure after compression as 20,000 Pascal. Please pay attention to this word. They are saying after compression, means this is a new value of pressure. New value of pressure can be termed as P2. The temperature remains constant. Calculate the value of pressure before the gas was compressed. Now before means they are asking us the value of P1. We know the formula that we are going to use over here is P1 V1 equals to P2 V2, which is nothing but the Boyle's law. Since I want the value of P1, I'll keep P1 on one side, I'll take all other quantities on other side. So it's P2 V2 upon V1. Value of P2 is 20,000. Value of V2 is 330. And you have to divide it by V1. The value of V1 is 820. Now when you do calculation, it will be 20,000 into 330 divided by 820. The answer is 8.05 into 10 raised to 3. So you can write 8050 or 8.05 into 10 raised to 3 Pascal. That's the calculated answer for the pressure of the gas before it was compressed. Please note that pressure and volume, they are inversely proportional. So as you see, volume initial was 820 and final was 330. So there is decrease in the volume. Decrease in volume indicates that there must be increase in pressure. So the value that we have got over here is the initial pressure, which is 8050 Pascal, and the final pressure is 20,000 Pascal. So as you say, the value of pressure has increased, the value of volume has decreased. The next question that we are going to discuss is question number 4. Question says that a student carries out an experiment to determine the thermal capacity of a metal block. The block is heated by an electric heater for 23 minutes. So this is time that is given to us. The current in the heater is 3 ampere. So that is I. At a potential difference of 12 volt. So that is voltage. The temperature of the block rises from 20 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius. So this can be our T1, this can be our T2. Okay. Calculate the thermal capacity of the block. Now in this question, we are going to use two formulae. The first formula will be to calculate the energy supplied to the block. The energy supplied in terms of electrical energy can be calculated as V into I into T, where V is voltage, I is current, and T is time. And then by the energy that we get over here, we will be calculating the thermal capacity using formula E is equal to C into delta T, where C is the thermal capacity and delta T is the difference in temperature. So first we will try to find out the energy supplied to the block. So we have the formula E equals to voltage into current into time. How much is the voltage we have? It is 12 volt. How much is the current? 3 ampere. And for how much time we are heating it? 23 minutes. Now remember that minutes is not an SI unit of time. So we will be multiplying it by 60 to convert these minutes into seconds. Now when we do 12 into 3 into 23 into 60, we will have answer 49,680 joules. That much is the energy provided to the metal block. Based on the value of energy, we can calculate the thermal capacity. We have the formula E is equal to C into delta T, and I want value of C, so C will be E upon delta T, where delta T is the difference in temperature. Value of energy is 49,680 joules divided by delta T, that is 70 minus 20, which is 50. So 49,680 we will divide it by 50. The answer will be 993.6. So you can write 997, and it is thermal capacity, so joule per degree Celsius. Now how do we get this unit? Thermal capacity depends on energy upon difference in temperature. So unit for energy is joule and unit for difference in temperature is degree Celsius. Now the next question, part B, they are saying two metal spheres of different diameters are heated to 900 degrees Celsius in a hot oven. The two spheres are removed from the oven. State and explain any difference in the initial rate of emission of radiation of thermal energy between the two spheres. Now pay attention, they are saying that the spheres are having different diameters. If they have different diameters, they are surely going to have different area. Okay, now you can understand, if we are having a small metal block, it will be radiating from less surface area, radiating heat I mean. But if we are having a bigger metal block, it will be radiating from multiple surface points. So as the surface area increases, the rate of emission will also increase. So we can say that metal sphere having larger surface area will have greater rate of emission. We will also add a reason over here that larger surface area exposes multiple particles for emission. So you can see here, as the surface area increases, there will be many particles who will be ready to emit energy at a time, and hence the rate of emission increases. Second question, one hot sphere is now heated in hotter oven. State and explain any effect on the rate of emission of radiation of thermal energy from that sphere when it is removed from the hotter oven. Now when they say it is an hotter oven, it means its initial temperature is going to be greater. Now what do we mean by emission? Emission is nothing but giving out the heat energy. If the sphere is kept in hotter oven, it is going to absorb more energy, and if it absorbs more energy, it also has capacity to spend more energy. So we can say that the rate of emission will be greater as sphere will have greater initial temperature. So since it was kept in hotter oven, it has greater temperature, and with that greater temperature it emits more.